What's up everybody, William John Ray back with another episode of Design and Invest. This is a design deep dive of the property you see right behind me. We are in Highland Park. This is a flip I did for a client. She's new to the flip game, but has a really good eye and bought this property and was super stoked, hired me to basically run project management and design on it. And so I used my trades, got her all the best deals, and this was 40 days. 4-0. Yes, you are hearing me right. It was a quick one. We didn't recreate the wheel. I'll tell you how we did it, what things cost, and run you through the entire design of this project. But first, let's start on the outside since we are already here. So this property is in a historic district. Luckily for this property, this particular property is not in that HPOZ, historic preservation overlay, or what have you. I forget what it stands for exactly. But this it could have very well been, but I would have advised my client to not buy it if that were the case, because you have to jump through so many hoops in order to appeal people that have nothing better to do than to tell you how to spend your money and time preserving a home that basically looked like crap when they bought it, you know. So it doesn't make much sense. They like to keep a lot of things that don't make sense, but you know, I get it. I get that what it's all about and why they do that. But you know, good thing for this property, it was not in that area. But you do see some beautiful craftsmen around the area. Those ones, they want to you know, uphold the traditions and the historic preservation of those. One thing this house had going on inside is that you have these beautiful river rocks and stones. A lot of the neighboring areas, Highland Park, Montecito Heights, I mean, there's just a million little sub pockets around here, as well as Pasadena too. These rocks are very, very typical in the designs that they use them, because when they're excavating these homes and doing all this, they have all of these rocks in the soil, and also in nearby, you know, little dams and creeks and things like that. They use these in the construction of the walls, which comes out really beautiful. This property had a lot of things going against it too at the same time. We have to combat the stairs. I mean, you have a lot of stairs in this property, but you have beautiful views, so it's a kind of a balancing act there. So we want to play into the landscaping as much as possible, so that way you have eye candy all the way up those stairs and you're not paying attention to it. You're pointing out the beautiful agaves, the drought tolerant, the raised garden that we put in here. All of this was just drab desert. It looked really terrible before. The cinder block walls up there, the retaining walls, looked like a military complex, very industrial, and so we had to balance that by putting taller plants in the back. We did a live wall up there as well with succulents, and raised gardening here, so with some lava rocks and some fun, you know, accents and drought tolerant plants. But I think we really accomplished it, nailed it over here. We lowered the height of the gate, not the gate, but the railing that was up on top, and painted it black, and we completely gave the facade a facelift. Currently, I mean, before it was all stucco. It was a craftsman that was just bastardized over the years, stuccoed and left for just ordinaryville. But what we did is we did a very similar treatment at the Calvert property, if you remember that. That was my flip that I did about, I don't know, 6 months ago, maybe longer. It played in very well. This is a very hip area. The hipsters freaking eat this design up. We did a combination of metal siding and wood, stained wood. We took the sides of the porch and wrapped them with wood as well, to really sort of just give that effect of industrial meets, you know, rustic. It's a pretty cool look. Let's jump up there and I'll show you a little more detail. On the front porch here, we had these terrible tiles that we ended up chipping off and putting a new sort of non-slip paint on here, and then we put AstroTurf here to create a little yard, which it didn't really have before. It was kind of like a useless space. We added a little staircase so you can step down. On either side of the property, since you do have structures on either side, to block out that noise and really focus on the view, we put these ficus trees. So ficus, these things grow very fast, and we'll just create two walls, a wall here, wall there of privacy, and really focusing your attention on the view. So doing a treatment like this is a lot more cost effective than completely restuccoing your house, completely just changing. I mean, like, it takes a lot of work to do these other things. This is a treatment that you fix on top of the house, and it doesn't take much work, and it really adds a nice element. You know, metal siding is not terribly expensive, and wood, we just use reclaimed wood and stuff, but we wrapped it and cladded it everywhere, used cool industrial fixtures and such to enhance all of that. And we even kept the original door and painted it this burnt orange. You know, it's not the sexiest door. We did try to replace it. We bought the wrong size. So we said, you know what, we're just gonna make this one work. And so it doesn't look bad. We painted this burnt sort of hipster orange, I like to call it. That it's a very mid-century modern color. It worked out really nice, gave it that pop you need. The Edison bulbs play into that. This beautiful porch up here too. I mean, this house has so many different areas where you can just chill out. There's a top level, there's this level, that level. I even wanted to create a level down there initially for a big picnic table, but ended up saying, you know what, let's just leave that alone. We needed to cut cost. This job, like I said, took 40 days. From start to finish, which is pretty darn fast for a flip. Timing was not on our side. We had to really get to market. My client had a lot of money out on this property, you know, and she wants to recoup it as soon as possible. It is now on the market for, I believe, just a hair under 1.2. I'm not 100% sure on the purchase price. I think it was low 900s. So there's not a ton of juice, but as long as you do a lot of these, you'll make money. Just it's a numbers game. But you know, this house turned out very beautiful. We didn't, I think total budget was, at the end of the day, I think it was just over 80, which is not bad. I mean, anywhere else you're gonna spend at least 100 on a flip like this, and probably 3 months, you know what I mean? Things that we didn't change. We didn't change the windows. The windows were decent aluminum, probably 80s, 90s, you know? So it's not the sexiest of windows, but people pay big money for aluminum, so why not leave them? It's something that we could save money on. The house had an existing air conditioning unit. The plumbing and electrical were in decent enough shape to where they didn't need to be replaced. All we did is replace the verticals on the showers and in the shower, as well as the sinks and stuff with new angle stops, and just updated it. We did put in a new water heater. The water heater was a very bad placement in the backyard that was right outside of the space that we wanted to utilize for a little, what do you call that? Office. You'll see that in a little bit. We didn't do anything terribly invasive or, you know, prohibitive cost-wise inside. We chose things that were just updates. You know, we scraped the ceilings. We put in some new recessed lights in the main living areas. In the bedrooms, we just kept the center fixture, and skimmed a couple walls that had too thick of an orange peel. All the receptacles, we replaced those with the new square ones, and new face plates. The flooring, we did choose engineered wood flooring because the price point is in $1 million plus, but we chose a lower cost one. This is, I think, $2.50, $2.90 square foot for these engineered floors. They came out beautiful. They're just a little thinner than normal ones that I use, but nobody will know any difference. I mean, they look nice. They play the right part. We kept the baseboards. All we did was put some quarter round around them. And the fireplace was brick before. We ended up changing this, just putting a tile over it, gutted the inside, which was you know, ugly logs and stuff, and put down some glass. It already had a linear gas diffuser. We kept that in place, painted the whole thing with a high heat black, put some glass in there. It looks completely different, and it's more of a mood fireplace rather than burning wood, which nobody does here on the West Coast. The tile itself, I believe, is only about $3–4 a square foot, and it has a really cool geometric pattern to it. It gets a lot of eyeballs, a lot of attention. We ran some low voltage and some plugs for the above the fireplace to mount your television and such. And of course, when I stage with real TVs that are gutted, because people need to know. A lot of stagers, they don't use televisions. I like to use them because it really paints the picture in full of how people live practically, not in this fictive world of just you know, set design. but came out beautiful. Again, didn't do a ton. The window treatments on the inside, we chose some shutters with sort of a wood grain kind of look to them. They're pretty nice. I use them quite often. This whole house, I think it cost $1,000 for all of the window treatments, which goes a long way. And people, a lot of flippers, they don't put window treatments. They just leave it open. I mean, you have views, so definitely leave these open during the showing, but nobody wants to look over at the neighbors. So you diffuse the noise where you don't want, you direct the traffic. That's really the beauty of that. This space here and the bathroom are probably the most transformative spaces that we did. We opened up this to create a pass-through, sort of buffet pass-through for the dining, as well as just opened up the space so you can see the kitchen and the flow and feel. We used a range, an over-the-range island hood, and the stove was already in that placement, so we didn't change the plumbing of that. The gas line was there, the plumbing was there for the sink. We kept the location there, all new cabinets. We just used a white shaker. I wanted to do a two-tone, gray lowers, white uppers, but the kitchen is just not big enough, and I think it would probably work against us. You only have 2-3 uppers, total. So those would be the only thing that's white, and everything else would be gray. It would look a little funny. It wouldn't have been as big of a hit as I'd like it to be. But by doing this, it opens up the kitchen, shows off all the features, the appliances. This wall right here, we furred this wall out about 8, maybe 9 inches to accommodate proper size appliances on this wall. This wall before had the fridge on the backside and some weird shelving, kind of like a big pantry. I wanted to utilize this really smart and put an oversized fridge. So this fridge, brand new, is probably like a $10,000 fridge. This is a GE monogram, but it looks like a Sub-Zero. It's a 48-inch fridge. We got it for $3,000, a big bang for your buck for a property like this. In a kitchen that's not incredibly huge, you really want to put nice appliances to really showcase this kitchen and make it as much of a feature as possible. This back half of the kitchen used to be a breakfast nook over here, a little small breakfast nook, and then over here was where the washer dryer room was. Very compartmentalized. This house, that was closed, this was closed, it wasn't sexy. So I opened up that entire back space and made it a little bonus room, like an office, perfect for, getting away, if a lot of times, especially during the pandemic, people were working from home. So having that extra space, on top of the 3 bedrooms, you have a bonus room. So that adds a big sort of check mark for people. And we put a barn door just to add a little more rustic feeling to it. But look at this space. This is a perfectly nice office. We chose some nice features too. We did farm sink, stainless steel. We chose a nice industrial range. This is an NXR. They're only about $1,200, but they look real boss and chunky, and they have the right feel that I was going for. The right handles that match each other, the pro handles. It goes a long way. So when I planned this wall right here of appliances and stuff, I had to work in a pantry. They didn't have pantries this small, so I had to customize this. My handyman, one of them is a carpenter. He's really good with wood, so he just said, order me a panel, a side panel, and I'll customize it and make it work. And he did. It's a functional small pantry now. I could have made the pantry the entire size, but then I would have to worry about the switch not being inside the kitchen. I hate having switches on the outside for a room that's on the inside. So I accomplished saving a little space to create a little wine bar area here. Extra cabinet. We bought these little floating shelves for like 15 bucks on Amazon, and they fit in here perfectly. We had to cut up just a little hair, and then I bought this little wine kind of holder thing. This was like 5 or 6 bucks on Amazon as well, so you can put your little wine glasses. But very cute. Make sure to put an outlet there in case you want to charge your phone, or perhaps put an appliance in there, toaster or blender, whatever you want. You have the space there, but very, very cute. Use of space, again, very narrow, very small, but it came out great. We had the same backsplash element here, and also we had some extra space in the office, and we did the same there as well. The house only has one bathroom, and that's not something that's terribly attractive for a potential buyer. Most of the homes out here are 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, but we did some fun. It was a good sized bathroom, it had a nice size, so I was able to reconfigure the bathroom to accommodate a tub, a separate entrance for the ensuite, so that you have one defined master. Even though it goes into the same bathroom as the hall and the guest, it at least has the privacy of an ensuite entrance of its own. So you have a tub, you have a stand-up shower, you have some nice finishes. It checks the right boxes as a master bathroom would. So that's how we sort of combated the only one bathroom thing. The layout of the bedrooms, these 2 on this side are relatively small but functional. Also very important to stage bedrooms like this, because people cannot envision their own furniture in a small space. You have to show them, and then it doesn't become small until you remove the furniture and they move in. But regardless, we painted the right picture for them. They can go and they can see their kids in these bedrooms, or one is a guest bedroom. And the master is a lot better size, and it also has views of the hills, which is really the most attractive part of this property. You have downtown LA views, you have views of the hills of Highland Park and Montecito, and they're beautiful hills. So let me walk you through the design of the bathroom and how I came across, or came to because really we used every inch of this bathroom very, very wisely. We had to fur this, the door was over here before. We had to fur it out over to 19, I believe the finish here is 18 or 19 inches. So we used a custom narrow vanity, but also a dual vanity. So we only had, I believe, 52 inches or so, 50 inches, which is a pretty small double vanity, but having a double vanity is way more important than just having a single vanity, especially if that's being shared by the master. So we got it, we squeezed it in, we got a vanity on this side, it wasn't on this side before, and it really works. And the door fits right in the middle, and then the shower is on the left side. We were able to squeeze that in. There was a tub only there, and in the back wall there was no tub, so we ended up shifting the tub over there. But come here and check it out. So here's the ensuite. We open up the closet, and the closet back straight into this bathroom. So we opened that up and created that, and added this beautiful tub. It's tight in here, but it's not. It doesn't feel like it. We used light colors. We didn't overpower it with dark colors. We used this fake marbleized quartz. Very, very popular. They do a great job. It looks like real stone, but it is not. It's quartz. We use the same sort of feel in the shower surround. We use that fake marble tile. They do even better job with the tiles. It looks like real marble. And then we use just a white hexagon for the shower pan. This tile, I believe, is maybe $4 a square foot. It's a really good deal on that. These slabs are, I don't know, $2.50 a slab for these. $40 sinks, $30 faucets. We're not breaking the bank here by any means. The vanities, the entire kitchen and bathroom vanity, I think was like $5,000. That's with the stone. So that's a really good deal. It doesn't sound like an amazing deal, but really, they come and install the sinks, they bring the sinks, they bring the stone, they bring this, they bang it out in 2 days. I have a really good resource here in LA that I use, and just I would have to get my tile vendor, my stone vendor, I'd have to get my cabinet guy, I'd have to get the handyman to put the cabinet pulls on, all that stuff. No, this is a one-stop shop, $5,000 for brand new kitchen cabinets and vanity, pretty stellar deal. See what I mean? You have your own private entrance into the master. The pass-through closet isn't anything fantastic. It is a small closet for a master, functional. I had my custom cabinet guy hooked me up, did a $500 solution, and did some built-ins, some shelving on this side, a rack that'll probably be his, over here hers. It's not, like I said, fantastic, but it does check a box, and it is a nice, appealing closet. And to save space in this room, instead of just putting another door, so it's like constant doors everywhere, we did a barn door, so it saves on space for staging and stuff. And For the center fixtures in the bedrooms, we chose these lights. I've never used them before, but I really like them. They actually come with a remote control as well, where you can change the color. This one is set right now to a bright white, but you could do a soft white, like a more of a yellow hues. You can also set a timer on it. Like if you're at bed, you have a little controller, you push 30 minutes, it'll shut off in 30 minutes. And you can dim them with the remote control as well. It's a pretty cool little light. It's only like 40 bucks. So I put those in all the bedrooms as well as the office as well. So there was this really odd cabinet here that you open it up and you just look into the inside of the walls. This home was built 100 years ago, quite literally 100 years ago in the 20s. And so you get all these little weird nooks and crannies. I don't know if it was an old ironing board or what the purpose of this weird space was, but I just hollowed it out and put some drywall, made it a little niche for the office, added those same floating shelves that we used in the kitchen, and it turned out like a little, you know, beautiful little nook. I mean, it's a great space to put your books, you know, to put your keys when you come in, or what have you. And in the office, you have this great little door that leads out to the back. Let's go check out the back. It's beautiful. So this house has these beautiful terrace levels. This is one level. You have a retaining wall and then another terrace up there. This one here is quite nice. This creates this natural sort of border and pocket where you come out here and hang. You have this foliage that took years and years to grow and just sort of hang down. And with time, it'll get even more beautiful with the ivy and just, you know, start trailing down the walls. I really, really like this space. This is somewhere you want to come out, hang out, read a book. So we put up these string lights to really enhance the space at nighttime and to create that atmosphere that the space really deserves. I mean, you could do so much with this space too. If this were my house, or if we had a bigger budget, I would line the entire walls or the areas that were not covered by furniture with planters, you know, on top of the ground planters with beautiful succulents in them. I mean, God, I would maybe even terrace it a little more, like a little step up or something, and step down, just to create a couple little pockets. Maybe do an outdoor barbecue here. This would be a great place right here for an outdoor barbecue. A little fridge. I mean, the possibilities are endless back here, but this house is really special. You have views, you have cool little pockets, a lot of areas to hang out and use that outdoor space. It's not the biggest home, it's only 1,200 square feet or thereabouts, but it's a special property, and I think someone's gonna fall in love with the character and charm. Okay, up here, it goes up to the top terrace. The top terrace is the most beautiful terrace, in my opinion. Somebody at some point had some cool stuff going on. Over the years, it's fallen apart, disintegrated. I would change the feel up here myself personally, but it's got a really good starting base. And I actually whipped up a rendering for the clients as well to help sort of paint the picture up here. This would be a great place for an ADU. I mean, you could build up to 12, this is a single family residence, so you could build up to a 1,200 square foot ADU in this space. So I paid out of my own pocket for the rendering just to help the client with marketing, because I knew that this could be something that a client would really, or the buyer would really like to see put in place. As you see, they used the rocks from this area and built up the planter beds. You know, the existing succulents were already here. We just enhanced them with some new ones. Put in some festuca here and some dark charcoal to kind of mix the mediums. You have all these pathways and cool stairs. It's really nice up here, and you have beautiful views of downtown LA right over here. Up here you also have another couple pads. You have a fountain, or remnants of what used to be a fountain up here, and a beautiful tree for shade up here, and the views are just endless. I'm sure this fountain hasn't worked for years, and it might be pretty hard to replumb, but somebody really put their time into this back space and probably enjoyed it thoroughly. It has a really good feeling about it too. But I mean, look at this rock. This rock has these little pockets, kind of comes out with a hole. This is like a natural stone. I don't know where they found this at, but it works beautifully for the purpose. And then it drips into this fountain down here. They probably had some fish in here at some time. But very beautiful. You have these beautiful little terraces up here as well. This tree, if this were my house, I'd put a hammock up here, a nice big hammock to just hang out. maybe a little chicken coop over here. I mean, there's so many options and possibilities up here. Maybe you do your barbecue up here instead of down there. We also put some these string lights that enhance the space at nighttime, give it some glow and charm. But for staging purposes, we used a fire pit, some chairs around it. We didn't want to overwhelm the space with furniture. Also, that'd be very cost prohibitive as well. So we just staged it delicately. These chairs were already here, so we just left them. I thought it was cute little pocket to kind of come up to. But check out these views. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Very happy to have shared this home with you that I designed. I know it was only a 40-day flip, but I feel like a little piece of me is always left with these properties. I get a little separation anxiety with each one that I do, but I enjoy this so much, and I love this work. And you know, I hope it shows in my work. And remember, guys, design, invest, and repeat.